from a physiologic standpoint, or any drug really, but from a physiologic standpoint, because that's what you're asking, pregnenolone, definitely 100 to 200 milligrams a day. Even if you're smoking pot, pregnenolone can help mitigate some of the effects of the high, so it will make your pot less pleasurable. So pregnenolone, and it will also protect your brain from the pot. The more.
I remember you said that when you smoke pot, the THC upregulates pregnenolone in your brain at some sector in your brain. You said 3,000 times, right?
Yeah, huge amount. Yes, pregnenolone is neuroprotective. It's one of the ways the body naturally protects the brain. Same with progesterone. Vitamin E can be helpful. The B complex can be helpful, particularly niacin. And if he wants to use a little progesterone cream, that wouldn't hurt either. Tryptophan, 5-HTP, or I like straight tryptophan. Some people get benefits from 5-HTP. Both of these help your brain make serotonin. Serotonin, of course, is important for keeping everything stable. Magnesium is important for helping relax the body and relax the brain. It's also very important for brain health in general. And then GABA, G-A-B-A, and lithium may also help them as well. And don't forget the omega-3 fats from the Ultimate EFAs.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get him to take the Healthy Start pack. That would be a good place to start.
That would be a great place to start. And if he wants to do one thing, he doesn't want to spend money, he just wants to do one quick thing, keep your sugar down. Reduce hypoglycemia. Low blood sugar will cause great distress in the body, make the body really jittery. Cortisol gets secreted, and you'll be more prone towards smoking pot. So keeping the blood sugar stable is extremely important. Many of these nutrients that we talk about are really they work via the blood sugar. Niacin works, at least partially, by stabilizing blood sugar. All right, got to move on, Rory.
Did I help? Sir. Take care.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay, take care. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. We got Steve back. Go ahead, Steve. Let's see if we got a better connection, bro.
Yes, testing 1, 2.
Yes, we got you.
Okay, the DHEA. Did you say that compared to pregnenolone and progesterone, that the pregnenolone progesterone could revert to cortisol? But
progesterone and pregnenolone are raw materials for cortisol. The next step is cortisol and cortisol-like substances after progesterone. You get how? Does it make sense how all these chemicals are proceeding sequentially into other chemicals? How cholesterol proceeds to pregnenolone, it proceeds to progesterone, then progesterone proceeds to cortisol. These are all made from each other, and this is called a biochemical pathway. I think you know what I'm talking about, Steve. This is called the pathways. The pathways are how chemical A, or Tinker Toy A, for the non-chemists out there, Tinker Toy A gets converted into Tinker Toy B, or chemical structure A gets converted into chemical structure B, then C, then D, then E. And that's called a chemical pathway. And everything we're talking about here is the steroid hormone pathway, how all the steroid hormones proceed. So it all starts off with cholesterol, which, as I've said a zillion times, and I'll continue saying, is the single most important molecule in the body, and nothing says the stupidity of the pharmacomedical model than drugs that suppress cholesterol. Cholesterol proceeds or gets tweaked and becomes pregnenolone, which in turn gets tweaked and becomes progesterone. Now, from progesterone, you go two directions. Progesterone can get tweaked one way and can become the stress hormones, or it can be tweaked another way and become DHEA. And then DHEA. Let me just say this one last thing. DHEA then gets tweaked to become the sex hormones. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What causes it to go to cortisol
or
stress hormone, right? That's associated with adrenals, correct?
Correct.
Or DHEA.
It's an awesome question, Steve. Steve, that is an awesome question. You cut right to the chase. What is it that determines whether your progesterone is going to be turned into or be tweaked, if you will, to become a stress hormone or a sex hormone or DHEA? It has a choice. There's a little fork in the road, and progesterone can either take the fork to the left and become stress hormone, or the fork to the right and become youth hormone. And your question, Steve, cuts right to the chase, because if we can figure out what is it that determines which direction that progesterone goes, we will be able to maintain our youth and vitality and fertility and everything we like about life longer. What is it that determines it? Stress is what determines it. Burden, sympathetic overload. This is the juncture between the parasympathetic effects, the relaxation effects of the body, and the sympathetic stress effects in the body. Right where you hit the nail on the head, Steve. That's the point. That's what we want to understand is why does progesterone go into making stress hormones versus fertility and youth and health and happy hormones. And the key is burden. The key is stress. When the body's in survival mode, it will make more stress hormone. That's the bottom line right there.
You have two types of stress. You have natural stress.
I'm talking about distress. I'm not talking about eustress. Yes, you're right. There are two kinds of stress. There's eustress, EU stress. That's good stress, and that's just quick bursts of intense stress. By the way, I just read a really cool article that I wanted to talk about here. Not that I want to digress, but you guys may have heard this. They call it the 1 minute workout. Did you hear about this? The 1 minute workout? Now I can't find it. That's what I want to tell you about.
Yeah, that's for when you do like sprints and
yes,
you really go all out for 50 seconds at a time.
This was all over the news on Friday, and I printed up this article. Now I can't find it, but it was all over the news on Friday how intense scientists at McMaster's University in Canada found that intense 1 minute workouts give you just as much benefit as a 45-minute long-term workout. And this is the idea of eustress, intense stress, versus long-term drip, 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 chronic stress or distress. So yes, you're right. Eustress will shunt you into DHEA and the sex hormones. Distress will shunt the progesterone into cortisol, and that's where you run into problems. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not talking about that type of stress. What I'm talking about is the natural stress from like free radicals and biochemicals in your body. When you get older, you're going to pick up all these toxins in your body. That's one type of stress. Then you have the stress from somebody that's a problem neighbor or whatever.
No, they're not. They're not two different stresses. They're the same. Oxidants and toxins in the blood equal a messed up neighbor biochemically. And that's an important point. We don't want to distinguish. We don't want to make a distinction between psychological and mental and emotional stresses and physiologic stresses because from the biochemical standpoint, they're the same. That's the power of our mind. This is how the mind controls the body. And that's a very, very important point. I'm guilty of focusing a lot on nutrition sometimes at the expense of understanding the mental and emotional components. I try to mention it periodically, but it's so important to understand that health is holistic, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. It's not just physical. So I'm not sure if I hear the music there or not. Is that the music, Keith?
That's the music.
Oh, that's the music. All right, I hear the music now. All right, we got to go, Steve. I apologize, man. Have a good day. Good to talk to you. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for listening, friends. If you want to check out our longevity products, head to criticalhealthnews.com, brightsideben.com, or pharmacistben.com, or call 866-735-2470. Have yourselves an awesome, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.